you guessed it. Welcome to Cádiz. I've been mispronouncing this wrong all the time. I was saying Cádiz, but it's Cádiz by the local. And we're here right by the water by this beautiful beach where the sands were brought in from the Sahara, no less. And we're here in a very recognizable place you may recognize here, but this is just a beautiful beach to itself. It's Playa de Caleta, and it is right smack at the end of Cádiz as the town. But there you can see a very specific background from Die Another Day. Now, of course, you remember the part with Brosnan, beautiful view. And then Jinx comes up the water here. But what's interesting is everybody thinks that the Catalina, that is the Castil San Catalina, was the Alvarez clinic. It's not. I've seen pictures, I've seen videos. It's not. The Alvarez clinic in the movie is the San Sebastian. See, this is the walkway here, and that's the San Sebastian. We're gonna go actually out there. So the San Sebastian was the Alvarez clinic, and the way they shot it made it look like it was an island, but it actually has a causeway that you can walk out to. Unfortunately, the San Sebastian is closed. It's been closed for some time. They're renovating it, which is good news for all of us. But more importantly, the elements, the beach, you know, that whole idea of the mojito, if I had the time, you definitely get the essence here. And this was, of course, was scouted out to replicate Cuba. And you can really see how Cádiz replicates Cuba extremely well, from the streets to some of the architecture to even the vegetation. Yeah, it's all here. Now we're a little bit closer to the Alvarez clinic right here, Castil San Sebastian. And as you get closer, you can really see a lot of the things that you saw in the movie itself. For example, that tower up there is something that you have. Now, locals who have talked to me about the filming here way back in 2001 for Die Another Day said it was a mixture, what they saw in film, of both the actual location and, of course, probably back in Pinewood in the UK. But there was much more, like most of the outdoor scenes were actually shot here. So after the explosion happens, boom, you see the outdoor scenes. It makes me wish that I could actually tour this place, but unfortunately it's been closed down. Some say it was a secret agent named Brosnan who closed the place down after exploding some of the wall. Some say it's restoration. I like to believe it's the first one. That's just how I roll. Well, now we're up close and personal to the Alvarez Clinic, San Sebastian. Beautiful. Really stood the test of times. I know it's being renovated right now, but as you get up and close, you see the different nuance of it. A lot of things that you recognize from the movie itself. So When you think about locations capturing the essence of the movie that's been shot there, this one from a Die Another Day moment, yeah, it ticks it off. It gets high marks. And as you can see in the background, these are some of the things you can see specifically from the film. This would have been an entry point over here for the boat. So still in Cádiz, down this walkway, Pierce Brosnan came. There was a woman standing on this wall right here. He approaches into the square like this, and behind him, of course, is that. So what is that? Well, Raul, who is the sleeper, who owns the Delatatos, the extremely harsh cigars. This was the cigar factory. Here it is right here. Look at this. It's actually a market, and it's less a market and more of a food court. Let me tell you, it is bedlam in there. It is crazy. Danielle and I just walked through, and you had to elbow your way in here, but Brosnan would have literally walked in my footsteps right here, and he would have gone from that hall to the marketplace right there and have gone to meet the sleeper. So it's an amazing location. They would have had to have shut this whole thing down to really make it appear, but here it is in all its glory. Well, we're in beautiful Cádiz. The streets are absolutely amazing. Really beautiful old world charm. So this is, you know, it's always these wonderful cultural differences. For example, I got up this morning and it was a little bit after 6, probably 6:15 a.m. in the morning. And I went up to the fitness gym and it was locked. And immediately somebody from the front desk saw me and said, what you doing? And I said, I wanted to work out. I'm just trying to open up the gym. And he goes, it's too early. And I said, oh, I guess not for people that work out at 5 a.m., but okay. He goes, it's Sunday. It's too early. I said, okay. Is there a place to get a cup of coffee around here? And he goes, coffee? It's too early. I said, oh, what time is breakfast served? He said, 8 o'clock. I said, what time is coffee served? He said, 8 o'clock. He said, now, it's too early. It's Sunday. Okay, so went back up to my room, fell back asleep. Kind of different for me, like vacation. Anyway, those are just some of the little things, but you can't get away from the charm. And this is all about drinking in the different culture, is being really on their time schedule, not yours. I mean, this is their world and you're a visitor in it. So I'm having the best time, and now we're gonna go adventure around the city just a little bit more. Okay, we're heading into the Seta de Seville. Wait till you see this structure. Okay, I know this is a James Bond in Spain's trip, but right behind me, you can see Naboo. This is where they filmed Attack of the Clones when Padme and Anakin are shacking up. They're hiding in the countryside. This is the location that they used. They put a couple of little greeblies in CGI, but other than that, it's kind of unchanged. We even have the luggage area. What? I'll show you. Okay, I'm looking like a porter right now because this is the same exact area that Anakin was carrying the luggage for Padme when they were kind of shacking up. They had left Jar Jar behind. It was just the two of them canoodling. And this is all of Naboo in the background. Lucas wanted to film from this angle as opposed to central so he could get all of that and put very little CGI into the scene. And this location sort of looks like that because this is the area that inspired 3 movies when they invented that, Naboo and some of the other planets. And you can see why. Got this lovely open atrium. Is that what this is called? An open atrium or a courtyard?
It is interior courtyard.
Interior courtyard. Fakish.
Fakish.
Where's Fakish? Doesn't it look like that? Inspire lovely. Fakish. Yeah, like that Moroccan Fakish. It's time for paella. So right now we are in the beautiful Alcazar. Now Alcazar gets its name from part Alka-Seltzer, part Zaritsky. So I feel some ownership of this. You take an Alka-Seltzer and mix it with a David Zaritsky, you get Alcazar. And that's how they derived the name so long ago. None of that's true. Please don't believe it. This is not, this is infotainment, not information. But let's take a look around because this is one of the places that they use for Dorne in Game of Thrones and where a lot of Game of Thrones season 5 and 6 were filmed. Check it out. Okay, now we're in a town, really a city called Ronda that is separated by a bridge. Wait till you see this gorgeous bridge. It was the last holdouts that from the Moors, and we're going to show you how there's a separation of two cities, one from the 15th century and one much, much older. But behind me, you've got the bull ring. Yes, it's a historical place where, of course, they did the bullfighting. Controversial, yes, but a cultural connection nonetheless. And of course, you've got the tie-in with On Her Majesty's Secret Service, that bullfight, not the same place. Nope. But still part of the cultural connection. Let's go explore Ronda. Okay, so it is my last day in Spain. We're going to be heading to the airport soon. Bittersweet, right? I mean, Dorothy said it. There's no place like home. So it's always great to go back home, especially after a long vacation. But Spain has been amazing. It's exceeded all expectations. Plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.